welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzongo. Here are the stories we're tracking for you right now. It's D-Day as the NLC President Joe Ajaero honors police invitation following ongoing investigations over treasonable felony where his name was mentioned. Union officials mobilized for possible action if he's detained. "94 suspects allegedly involved in the killing of 2 police officers and injuring 3 others arrested over face-off between the police and Shiites in Abuja." A Defense Intelligence Agency detained an assistant superintendent of police and 19 others for 30 days over alleged involvement in banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism activities. Let's bring you up to speed with what we are tracking in the polity, because our eyes and our ears are on the headquarters of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the headquarters of the Nigerian Police, where the NLC President Joe Ajaero is expected to honor an invitation by the force. Mr. Ajaero was summoned last week following the mention of his name in an ongoing investigation involving terrorism financing, treasonable felony, subversion, and cybercrime. The police are threatened to issue a warrant of arrest if he failed to honor the invitation, an action the union caused tension among the union members, and they march in solidarity for the NLC boss then and threatened to go on a strike if he's detained or mistreated. However, his lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, told the police that Ajaero will be unable to honor that invitation on that day because he had a prior engagement scheduled before the invitation was received and will rather show up today. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, the union has suspended a proposed procession in Abuja, but warned of action if their leader is detained. Let's take a listen to them, what they said.
We will be here. They will go and come back to meet us here. We have clear conscience that the president will go and come back. We'll be here. When he doesn't come back, then we'll take the next line of action. Because now, person when no get strength, now in the event they throw and they throw punch. We have the capacity to do what they think we can do. That's all. And so that one we're not speaking about it. Let the president go.
Well, as we speak, given this, what is going on in the NLC headquarters, we understand that in River State, that is Port Harcourt, the River State capital, we understand that the NLC is already working in solidarity with their leader in Port Harcourt, the state capital. As soon as we get our correspondent, he will join in on the conversation. But let's move on now. In the meantime, the FCT Police Command has paraded 94 suspects allegedly involved in the killing of 2 police officers and injuring 3 others in an unprovoked attack by the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria, popularly known as Shiite, at the Wusa Market Junction in Abuja. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Commissioner of Police in charge of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Bennett Igwe, while reeling out statistics of arrests, made also announced the arrest of a 7 naval personnel allegedly responsible for the killing of the son of a former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Marshal Isha Ibrahim.
Sunday, August the 25th, 2024, was a bloody one in Wuse area of Abuja, as 2 policemen lost their lives while 3 others were severely injured following an alleged attack by members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria on policemen said to be carrying out peace maintenance duties. Barely 3 days later, the police parade some of the arrested suspects. The police insists the suspects are responsible for the death of the 2 officers and the burning of their patrol vehicles.
After the attack on the policemen, and they killed 2 policemen and wounded 4, including a woman police who were in the hospital. We took action because we can't enjoy it. If you check here, you can see what we recovered from them. Some of the cutlasses you see here are blood-stained.
Beyond the attackers, the police announced the arrest of a serving naval personnel for allegedly killing the son of his boss on August the 18th in Abuja after dispossessing him of a Prado Jeep.
Is that about 2 weeks ago, Aminu Ibrahim, the son of Vice Admiral I. Ibrahim, a former chief of naval staff, was robbed and killed in Maitama area of Abuja. And his Prado SUV removed.
Some of the suspects speak on the allegations against them.
Nigerian police arrested us. Symbolic Arbain trek.
But during the trek, the police say some of your members killed policemen.
This is not true, and we are not aware of that. Yes, I'm a member of that.
I come here because I was the prosecutor of killing son of Vice Admiral I. Ibrahim.
So why did you kill him?
Yes, sir, I killed him because to carry the cancer. Prado.
Although the police is continuing the search for other suspects, it's vowed to prosecute the arrested ones as soon as investigations are complete.
Security is top on our list as the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja and presided over by Justice Peter Lifo, has approved the request of the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, to detain an assistant superintendent of police and 19 others for 30 days over their alleged involvement in banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism activities. The police officer, ASP AA Babangida, was ordered to be detained along with others for 30 days to enable DIA operatives carry out a thorough investigation into alleged involvement in heinous crimes. The serving police officer was arrested in June 2024 and had since been in DIA custody, was alleged to have been involved in helping Boko Haram bandits and his ISWAP members in carrying out terrorism activities in some parts of the country. Justice Lifo Peter issued the detention order while delivering ruling on an ex parte application brought before the court by the DIA. Counsel to Security Agency, S.A. Aminu, while arguing the ex parte application, had requested the permission of the court to detain the suspect for 90 days. We did tell you that eyes and ears are at the NLC headquarters, where some leaders are there waiting for what will play out at the police headquarters, where their leader, NLC President Ajaero, has been invited to answer some questions where his name was mentioned in allegations of terrorism financing, cybercrime, and all kinds of, very big charges against him by the police. So we also understand that they had planned a solidarity march or a procession in Abuja. It was suspended, but it looks like the ones in Port Harcourt are not bowing out. So let's go to Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Charles Oporuma, correspondent, is standing by to give us update as the NLC has proceeded on that walk. Charles, and just as quickly as possible, we thought this procession was not to be suspended. What happened?
Good afternoon, Jeff. Apparently, they did not get the memo. They just processed here to Moscow Road, which is the headquarters of the River State Police Command. And the police set up a barricade just here. You can see the policemen are still behind me. They got here, they were singing solidarity songs, chanting, and they were led by the River State chairman of the NLC, Alex Agwanwo. And while he was talking and addressing, we have a sound system here. He said, the same way our leader, Ajaero, is presenting himself before the IG in Abuja, we here are presenting ourselves before the Commissioner of Police here in River State. Whatever allegations he's answering in Abuja, we are also going to be answering the same allegations here in River State. Those were the words of Alex Agwanwo, the chairman of the NLC here in River State. But interestingly, while they were still chanting and singing and protesting, a message came to him and he said, can I tell you guys something? Our leader, Ajaero, has just left the custody of the police. And that was basically what happened right there, right here behind me, Moscow Road, Port Harcourt. Jeff.
Okay, thank you for your reporting, Charles Operum. Of course, our eyes and ears are everywhere to make sure that we report whatever is going on. They are threatened that if he's detained, they will go on strike. But we're glad things are not snowballing in that direction. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, we'll take a quick break, just a very quick break. When we come back, we're talking Benue politics. Now, in 2023, perhaps the biggest political upset happened in Benue State, where the APC swept the PDP off their feet, and the PDP hasn't been able to recover since then. But within the APC, it appears that the spoil of victory is causing more problem, that even the taste of victory is becoming as difficult as it should never have been. We're going to be joined by the two sides, because now there is a state party executive and another caretaker committee. So what exactly is going on with Benue politics? The two publicity secretaries should be joining us to talk about this. Join us in a moment. Welcome back. Daniel Imoho, the APC publicity secretary in Benue State, joins us from our Abuja studio, as well as Mr. James Onguga, who is the APC caretaker committee publicity secretary. So two publicity secretary. Mr. Imoho, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Let's also talk to, but let me begin with Mr. Onguga on this particular. Mr. Onguga, if you can hear me. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So maybe give us what is playing out, because for a while we knew that Austin Agada and his team have been in the leadership. We know that there was a time it was between Austin Agada and Omakolo, and then what is playing out now with the CTC being inaugurated. So for the benefit of the audience, how did the CTC come about?
All right, thank you very much. The issue in Benue is very clear. It all started in February this year when the former chairman of the party, Austin Agada, was suspended by his own ward, and the suspension was duly ratified by his own local government. And the report came to the state. And what happens is, at the state level, you have a state working committee of 18 people that administer the party on a day-to-day basis. But the actual body that administers the party in the state and sets the agenda for the state working committee to implement is the state executive committee, which the governor is also a member. And by virtue of his position in all states of the federation, by convention, the governor is allowed to preside over the state executive committee as the leader of the party in the state. So when Agada's suspension was duly ratified by his local government and forwarded to us, being the chairman then as it was, he failed to call a meeting that would deliberate on this. And the matter became so heated when a court order was obtained by a member of the party, barring him from parading himself as the chairman of the party and carrying out the functions of the party. And it became imperative for the state executive committee as the adjudicatory body that gives direction in the state to now wade in and provide direction. And that was exactly why we met as members of SEC, including serving and past members of the National Assembly, serving and past principal officers of the State Assembly, the governor, and the state ESCO members that felt there was a crisis in the party to be resolved. And when this happened, the party met and decided, in line with Article 17(4), that where a vote of no confidence is passed on a member, someone, it was not very specific on the next ranking officer to take over, but someone should be chosen to take the position pending the ratification by the next adjudicatory body. And in this case, SEC decided that Benjamin Omakolo, the then welfare secretary, since he was from the same zone as Austin Agada, be allowed to lead the party in acting capacity, which he assumed leadership. Agada, on the other hand, said he was not legitimately suspended, but he had a window of 7 days to appeal the suspension, which he failed to do. And that was overtaken by events. Now, the party broke into a very deep faction, some loyal to Omakolo and some loyal to Austin Agada. But to cut the long story short, the National Working Committee of the party, exercising the power of NEC, sat and decided that in line with Article 13(3)(b) of the party's constitution, which confers on the National Working Committee the powers to dissolve any organ of the party, provided it is in the compelling interest of the party and to allow the party from total collapse. They exercised that power, and both factions were put aside, and a 7-man caretaker committee has been put in place to administer the party, and that is the truth now.
Okay, let's take it back to Mr. James on Mr. Paul Ihomo on this particular. Let me come to you, Mr. Ihomo. Your response to what he said as far as this is concerned.
What my friend James Onguga, the former organizing secretary of our party in Benue State, is saying is not true. You are aware that there was a purported suspension of the state chairman of our party, Ross Nagada, by an appointee of the governor. And that purported suspension was set aside by the National Working Committee of our party. This is the letter set aside that purported suspension. Not only that, the state chairman of our party, Ross Nagada, he went to court to challenge that suspension, and he got justice. But before he could even go to court, the governor of our state, His Excellency Reverend earlier, said that he was pressurized by members of the party in Zone C to appoint a chairman. The constitution of our party is very clear. The governor does not have that power. And it was on this channel, this very channel, that the governor claimed that he was pressurized. He made a press conference. And within the constitution of our party, the governor does not have such powers to appoint an acting chairman. It is, even when a chairman is suspended, or even when he dies, it is the next in line from that zone. And in this case, it would have been the zonal vice chairman of our party, Bishop Peter Obaji, that would have even taken charge if that was the case. And so, when the governor appointed Omakolo as acting chairman, the court now came and cleared the matter that Agara remained the chairman of the party. The National Working Committee of our party also supported it with a statement after a meeting, clearly saying that Agara remained the chairman of the party. There and then, the state government of our party created a faction of the party. And according to the constitution of our party, creation of a faction of the party is clear exposure for the party. But I do not know why the National Working Committee of the party did not even send the governor away from the party. Of course, we knew that maybe there could be venue window for reconciliation within the party. The National Working Committee sent members to the state for reconciliation, which was started. But we later found out that the National Committee of the party just woke up without a stakeholders meeting with members of the party, without consulting even elected members of the party, maybe for example, the National Assembly caucus of the party, and just created a 7-man committee to take over that claim that they dissolve the ESCO committee of the party. While before then, there was an injunction from the court, from Harcourt High Court, stopping the National Working Committee of the party from dissolving, tampering, or even substituting names of members of the state working committee of the party, and then created an illegal caretaker committee that has been placed. That place has been placed in Benue today. And so the major problem of Benue is the governor trying to take over the party, trying to divide the party, destroy the party, and leave.
All right, let's take it back to Mr. James Onguga. So, simple question. Does the governor have the power to do some of the things he's doing from what he's saying? Because on one hand, he's saying that your committee is illegal. You are saying they are former. So it looks like they are word against yours. So maybe you point to the constitution of your party where the governor has the powers and why the governor is not in a good relationship with Agada as we begin to wind down.
All right, thank you very much. I think my friend, the former publicity secretary of the party, is speaking from a very high point of ignorance. I refer you to Article 17. Article 17, 4 of the APC Constitution. He said that Agada was suspended by somebody who was serving as caretaker councillor. Therefore, as an appointee, he was not supposed to exercise his duty. But I refer you to Article 17, 4, and I'm reading directly from the Constitution of the party. It says, except in a caretaker capacity, no officer in any organ of the party shall hold executive or legislative position or office in government concurrently, except in a caretaker capacity. The party chairman who suspended Agada was a supervisory councillor, which is in a caretaker committee set up by the governor and the local government. So he wasn't holding any elected position. And you come down to sub 6. It says, where a vote of no confidence has been passed on an officer, the relevant party organ shall appoint another person to act in his place, pending ratification by the National Convention of Congress, as the case may be. It was on this ground that Omakolo was made the acting chairman. They say another person. The law does not say the next ranking officer. No, that is not the position of the APC Constitution. And I refer you again to Article 13.3, where the National Working Committee exercised their own duty. In Article 13.3, sub B.
We don't have so much time. Let's take it back.
Look, listen to me. Listen to me. It says, notwithstanding anything to the contrary in this Constitution, the National Executive Committee shall have the power to set up a caretaker committee in place of any organ at all levels, except the Advisory Council and National Convention, where in its opinion, there is a compelling situation warranting such action in the overriding interest of the party. And this is the ground upon which the National Working Committee acted.
Let me take you to Mr. Paul.
ESCO and both the Omakolo's ESCO. So Morgan,
Mr. Paul
currently is the former publicity secretary of the party. He's no longer the publicity secretary.
Mr. Paul, let me come back to you, Mr. Paul, in our Abuja studio. Apparently, this looks like it has to continue, but I'm going to give you a time to just talk as much within the time we have. What is the way forward? At the end of the day, we know what is playing out. At least, we know your group is loyal to the SGF. We know his group is loyal to the governor. So it's a battle, it appears like a battle of proxies, using the big men using the proxies to fight their battle. That's what it looks like for us who are onlookers and watchers. What is the way forward?
Article 21.3 of the APC Constitution clearly states the procedures of, discipline. In the case of the state chairman, the first adjudicatory body is the zonal committee of the party, because this issue includes the issue of a state chairman. So it has to be handled at the zonal level. Secondly, my friend James Onguga also, was clever by half. The National Working Committee does not have powers, according to our constitution, to dissolve any elected state executive committee of the party. It is the National Executive Committee of the party, not the National Working Committee of the party. And therefore, it's wrong. I also want to clear that the SGF, as you have asked, has nothing to do with the governor on this matter. It is the governor that wants to, trying to take over the structure of the party. He wants to first take over the structure of the party. When he has not succeeded, he wants to destroy the party and leave.
You want to take over the structure? No, Mr. Paul, just a minute. On the illegal committee that is set up in Benue. Justice Teresa Igocha sent an injunction which was not held to by the National Committee. But just yesterday, she extended that injunction to 7 more days. And as far as the law is concerned, as far as we're concerned, Comrade Austin Agada and the State Executive Committee of the party remains until the court or the National Executive Committee of the party says otherwise. So everybody's citing the law. Thank God I have it here.
The APC is a party of law, and we are guided by the Holy Grail, which is the concern of the party.
All right, so
when the governor likes my face or he doesn't like the face of the chairman, he doesn't hold water. We are guided by the Constitution, which is the Holy Grail of our party.
Just a minute, just in 1 second. He said he wants to control take over the structure of the party. From who?
From stakeholders, from leaders of the party. In the APC,
who is the leader? Who is the leader? No, just hold on, Mr. Homo, hold on.
The party is today.
Mr. Homo, who is the leader of your own group?
Nothing like stakeholders. We have members of SEC.
Hello, sir, come again.
Illegal composition. There is nothing like stakeholders in the constitution of the APC.
Okay, maybe your last thought, Mr. Ongura. Just your last take.
Yes. All right.
30 seconds, Mr. Ongura.
All right. Well, I'm saying this is the solution that the National Working Committee has put forward to dissolve the 2 ESCOs and come out with a caretaker committee to administer the party. And these people are no longer the ESCO of the party. To continuously parade themselves is an affront on the party. The only people sustaining Agada's rule over us was the National Secretariat. And now that the National Secretariat has said he's no longer the chairman, he should go in peace. For a long time,
we're totally out of time, gentlemen. We're totally out of time. I wish we had more time. Mr. Daniel Ohumo, APC Publicity Secretary.
This is the letter where the same one committee.
Not a problem. We're totally out of time. Mr. James Onguga, thank you as well, gentlemen.
The same working committee has said Agada is no longer the chairman.
We must thank you. But thank you, gentlemen. Now it's almost confusing now to address who, but one is caretaker, one is in the party leadership that is being contested. Thank you for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics.